Club sandwich generally should have bulk, you know? You're kind of, they're always overpriced, but you can usually be assured of getting the 4 quadrants and the fries and like just a lot of food. It's very safe. That's why it gets ordered so often. This one, the Park Hyatt, which I don't usually stay at, was so expensive, so delicious, but then they made the little sections so small. It was really like as if to say, like, fuck you, we know how good this tastes, but you're gonna get tiny. They had, it was bacon, avocado, and sun-dried tomatoes, which I don't normally like, but it gave it a certain zest. Ciao was done really long distance in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm sure Air Canada made more money off the record than most of the collaborators.
What's that sound? I like that sound. I love that sound. It's the sound of my shoes.
There was work done in Stockholm with Jesper Dahlback, Finland with Jori Halkonen. The bulk of the work was done in Ghent with Soulwax. I had seen some posters of them up on walls in Europe with those bags on their head, and I was like, who are these idiots? Like, what is this? I didn't understand the name. Too many DJ. Like, I just didn't know what they were. I wasn't really particularly interested either. And then I met them DJing together, I think at a festival in Belgium, and they were playing my record, that Madame Hollywood record I had done. And so we met and we became kind of instant friends, and then we just started spending a lot of time together while they were working on their album in London. And yeah, it was just pretty much like making a friend in elementary school or whatever. It was the same type of like, oh, you think that's cool? Me too. You know? I guess that's how all the friendships started. The tracks with James were done in New York. Gentle Giant's something that I really love because it wasn't planned. It was never something I thought we would make, and I'm very proud of it as a track. Who can talk more between me and James Murphy? Like we spent days in the studio where I think it was like really like a talk off. I don't know if I have any. I'm sure I do have funny stories buried somewhere. I just can't think up any right now. Soulwax for sure. There's some funny shit that's happened. I just can't remember. James too. I don't know. I'll come up with something eventually. I should have funny stories prepared for that. There were writing sessions in Paris with Gonzales. I sent him an email like, I think we should be friends, you know, I think I had read about him in magazines and I'd never met him. And we met really like a blind date. I had like a layover in Paris and I was like, okay, let's meet for lunch. And we met like on a street corner. It was like in a spy movie, and I was like we just, I don't know if he didn't want to meet me in his home or whatever. We met on a street corner, we sat down. It was like, do you have the microfilm type vibe, you know? And we were completely different personalities in a lot of ways. I mean, we're pretty different, but we're kind of surprisingly alike in a lot of ways. We're both into like strategy. Well, he described me as a plotter, but he is as well. I remember I read an interview with Lou Reed, and they were, you know, it was like years still later, and they're still asking about Transformer and asking about Man, and he was just like, you know, I spent a few weeks, I made a record, and it's done. Like, that's it. You know, oftentimes there's no big storyline to how you feel about it. There's no more or less attachment. And I'm not very attached to the stuff I do when it's finished. And it doesn't have some big mission statement, and I think you hear that in the record. It's not like, oh, he was going for this, you know. I just wanted to basically get better. Like, I just wanted to improve on the last album. I consciously wanted the songwriting to be better. I wanted it to be a little bit more musical, a little bit more developed in terms of chord progressions or harmonies or whatever, and I wanted the lyrics to be a little slightly more thought out, not just kind of like, okay, give me a pen, yeah, baby, let's dance, baby, you know. I also read something, I think it was Salman Rushdie, who said, I don't know if it was him, somebody said that the only real purpose of press is to make you so thoroughly bored with what you've done that you have to do something new. So I kind of feel like that's again why I allowed you guys in my room. Something happened recently, I just can't remember what it was. I think it was within this calendar year. Again, if I come up with that,
Wearing my brand new gloves. This must be real love. I love to hold your hand. Those gloves don't touch my skin. Those gloves don't touch my skin.
Don't miss this week's Dignation, taped live in front of a huge audience in New York City during Internet Week. The episode comes out this Wednesday at revision3.com/dignation.